Hi, my name is Natalie Johan, and I am a senior in college, and I'm from Rockford, Illinois. My time in high school was very difficult. I spent a lot of my high school experience isolating myself and dealing with a lot of inner turmoil. My relationship with God was very strained. Over time, I began to think that God hated me. It was an intrusive thought that would come up in my head like all the time. Like waking up, falling asleep, like going throughout my day, I was like, God hates me. Like he must, because I'm a terrible and disgusting, awful person. And I told myself that for like 2 years, just like slowly and slowly over time, just building this idea of like a God that hated me in my mind. And I would go to church because I was raised in a Christian home, and I would go to like events or things, and I would hear things, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that God's really loving, but he doesn't love me. I'm the exception because I do all these terrible things and I think all these terrible thoughts, and there's no way that that God could love me. In the back of my mind, I was like, okay, something is wrong here. Like I know that's not true, but over time you just tell yourself that like over and over again, you don't know what's true anymore. I had this like small like spark of hope that I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to college and maybe like change of scenery, like maybe that'll like, I don't know, change like my like thought patterns and habits. I'll go to college. And I was very indifferent. I was like, okay, this is just the next step. We'll just see what happens. I used to be very pessimistic and very performative. I would be very like smiling and happy towards like other people when I saw them. And then like when I was home alone with myself, I was just very sad and lonely. But then I came to college, and like the first week, no, the second week, I met this girl on my floor, and she was like, oh, hey, I'm going to this house church, do you want to come? And I was like, sure. And she was really cool, so I just wanted to hang out with her because we were starting to become friends, and it's like the second week of school, so I'm like, I want to make some friends. So I go with her, and we get there, and they start singing, and it's like intense. Like people are like weeping and singing, and I'm like freaking out. Like I'm like, what the heck? Like I just go like full panic, like freeze mode. Like I can't even like move. I'm like, what is happening? I went to the bathroom and I just like sat on the floor and I just started crying because I was like, God, what the heck is happening? Something, I don't know. I just felt so out of place. Also with like my place with God too. I was like comparing myself to them. I was like, why can't I love God like they do? I don't even love God. So that happened, and we went back into the dorms, and then like a week later she was like, so that house church that we went to, they're having like a conference. Do you want to go to that with me? It's like a 2-day conference. And I don't know why I said yes, because the first time was so scary, but I was like, sure, I'll go. And she invited some other people to come too. And it was crazy beautiful. Like things that I'd told myself for like past like 3 years, like I could see them finally as like untrue. And I was just like hit by this like, oh wait, God doesn't hate me, he loves me. And I'm not the exception, like he loves me, like a lot. I mean, something about that realization, it just like changed everything after that moment. I remember like walking around later, I remember like all those thoughts that I used to have, they were just like vanished. Like, and every time like they came up, I was like, that's not true. Like I'm a child of God. And I was just like, that's so strange. Like, yeah, it was just a totally different like new phase of life that I felt like I was stepping into. And I felt like I was like actually meeting God for like the first time. And I was like, I surrender my life to you, like I want to follow you like all the days of my life. My life with God was very confusing, I think, because I kept telling myself, oh, I should be a better Christian. Like I should read my Bible, I should be doing all these things, but I'm not doing them, aka I'm a failure, like I'm a terrible person, like God could never love me. Like this expectation to be like a good person and like the best Christian was causing me to like not even like get the basics, which is that like God loves me. So that was what life was like before. And then afterwards, I think my heart was more open. You're in that like before place, you have a hard time like even like talking to God. Like you don't even like converse with him like he's your friend at all. But afterwards I was like, oh hey God, like how's your day today? Mine's going pretty good. Like like can you help me with this? And I'm struggling with this or blah 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 blah. And it just felt like a lot more like comfortable because I knew there was like no fear there. I guess one of my favorite Bible stories is the talons one, because the one who buries the talent, he's like, oh, like I I was fearful that you were going to be like a harsh man. And that's what life was kind of like for me before. It's like, oh my gosh, like God's going to hate me. He's going to punish me. Like I'm just not going to do anything. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to read my Bible. I'm just too scared. I was just like paralyzed with like fear. But then once I actually learned like how good and gracious and like of a good father that God is, then I was like, oh, there's no more fear anymore. And then also like a lot of my like negative thoughts went away because I just saw myself differently, which is honestly like a miracle because I thought those things were going to be around forever. And sometimes they do come back. Just recently, I got baptized this past December, and that was amazing. Public declaration of like, I'm a child of God, I'm gonna follow him for the rest of my life. But the 6 months after getting baptized were like really difficult. Was just battling like negative thoughts all the time, like anxiety, and I had to go to therapy. I don't know, there was a lot of confusion, and it was interesting because after I got baptized, my mind was like almost in the same places that it was before I met Christ, my freshman year. And I was like, God, why is this happening? Like, why am I having these thoughts again? Like, I thought I was freed from this. And then, you know, what that does, it makes you feel worse about yourself. You're like, oh, I'm failing God again. Like, I'm doing this, I'm a terrible person. And it's like, no, like, that was supposed to be in the past. Just last week, I went to church and there was a sermon about like being freed. And I was like, I got baptized 6 months ago, and the past 6 months have just been like relentless, like mental battles, like to take away my security in the Lord and the love that I know He has for me. So once I figured that out and figured out that like the bad thoughts, like they weren't like my own, I was like, oh, that's the enemy. Like I can attack that. Like I'm not gonna run away from God. Like God's gonna be my refuge. So I really hold close to that thought just recently. Is like God, like hide me, keep me safe. Like I want to run to you as my refuge and not anything else. If I had to talk to my younger self, I would say talk to somebody. Yeah, because I kept everything inside and I bottled it all up, and that was not good. And it's amazing, something that you can wrestle with for months on end, like in your mind. A simple conversation, like with a friend, being like, oh, how was your day today? And you like genuinely tell them what's going on in your life, and they say something, you're like, oh, fellow Christians are like amazing, and they have like wisdom, and they can bring like clarity. And then like prayer too, I'd be like, just be honest with God. Like you don't have to be perfect with God. You don't have to be the perfect Christian. Just be honest with Him. Be like, God, I'm having a hard time loving you right now. Do I even know what love is? Like, show me, please. Like, that's what I would tell her. I'll leave you with my favorite verse, which is Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope. Thank you.